Start our today's lecture. Our today's lecture is the third lecture of unit number 5. In that, we see the methods of execution of work. Okay, so in that, the very first point is nothing but the requirement of work prior to its execution. Means when we have to start the execution of work, before that, there are some process by which we can start our contract. Okay, so very firstly there is a administrative approval. Okay, so before executing any work, huh, concerned department will gives the administrative approval. Without getting the administrative approval, we cannot start any kind of work, or we cannot invite the any kind of tender. Okay, now the next point is a technical sanction. Now, the plans and detailed estimate prepared on the basis of administrative approval should be accorded technical sanction from the state government. Okay, so that's why that technical sanction is required. Now, after the technical sanction, appropriation of funds will be there. Now, what is that appropriation of funds? This appropriation of funds to the expenditure to be incurred on the original work during financial year. Okay, financial year in which work is to be undertaken. Now, the next is provision of fund. Now, this provision of fund means what? Provision of fund or provision for annual repair and maintenance of work in budget of the financial and execution of such works to the extent of amount specified thereof in the budget. Now, before inviting the tender, provision of funds is required. Without the funding, we cannot start any kind of structure, or we cannot invite the any kind of tender for any structure. So before inviting the tenders, funds will be provided by that particular department. Okay, so this is the requirement of work prior to its execution. Okay, now the next point is classification of work. Now there are three classes of work. The very first one is new work, second one is the repair work, and third one is maintenance work. Now new work means what? The term original works implies entirely new works or of additions and alterations to existing work. So that means that new work. Now repair works means what? This includes all repairs to newly acquired as well as purchased or previously abandoned properties which are brought into reuse again. Okay, so this is nothing but the repair work. While the maintenance work means what? The maintenance includes all kind of work undertaken to maintain existing building in ordinary working condition. So these are nothing but the classification of works: new work, repair work, and maintenance work. Now the next point will be working responsibility. When tenders are invited, okay, before that there are some procedure to invite the tenders. So when tender is invited, okay, and that particular contract will be given to any particular contractor. So there are some bodies of that authority. So that body will execute the work. So how that particular body will responsible to do some work in that contract. Okay. So the very first one is junior engineer. Okay. Now the working responsibility of junior engineer is what? A junior engineer is expected to assist his superior officers in performance of all those duties which he is to assume on his promotion to the post of assistant engineer. Okay, means what? He is a assistant to the deputy engineer or a assistant engineer. Means he was helped to execute the groundwork. Okay, whatever the ground condition is there, or what is the actual procedure happen on the ground. The reporting of that particular work will be submitted by this junior engineer. Now we see the duties and responsibility of junior engineer. Now the first duty or the responsibility of junior engineer is what? He keeps detailed history of all the roads, culverts, bridges, and the building which belongs to his judicial, along with row of road, condition of road, bridges, culverts, and buildings. Okay, this is the duty of junior engineer. Now he watch whether any untoward matter, including enforcement, are going on the roads or building premises. If he observed it, he should take suitable steps towards it and inform to his higher authority. Higher authority means assistant engineer or executive engineer. Okay. Now next duty is what? He inspect every road or bridge or culvert on periodical basis. He should maintain a register to keep record as per his inspection and observation. Okay. Now the next duty of junior engineer is what? He watch whether any untoward matter, including encouragement, are going on the roads or building premises. If such matters are happen, then he should take suitable step towards it and inform to his higher authority. Okay. Now these are the duties and the working responsibilities of junior engineer. Now we see the working responsibilities of executive engineer, which is higher authority than the junior engineer and the assistant engineer. Now, executive engineering holds the post to ensure all the technical aspects for the ongoing projects under his custody for the constructional work. Also, an executive engineer means EE. Okay, the abbreviation for the executive engineer is EE. Has to monitor the administration for the division as well as sub-divisional officers. He is responsible to make payment towards contractor, undergo estimation for coming projects and float payments. Okay, so this is the duty of executive engineer. Now, what are the other major job responsibilities of executive engineers are there that we will see. Okay, now the first responsibility is what? He interacting with the clients and the understanding their requirements effectively. Interacting with clients means what? He interacting with the people who are in his judiciary. Okay, means whatever the subdivision and divisions he one time means he ruled on that particular jurisdiction or the subdivision. In that division, whatever the peoples are there, they will give, or they are the clients who gives the suggestion or who are having some complaints regarding the infrastructure work. So they gives the suggestion or complaints to the executive engineer, and he interacts with them and understanding their requirements. Okay. Now next is plan work according to the client's requirement and manage the time. Then supervising the engineers and assistant engineer. This is the other responsibilities of executive engineer. Now next is guiding and suggesting changes, requirements, and necessities in the project. Then training the newly joined employees and educating them about the company policies, rules, and their duties. Then maintaining the records of the ongoing projects and documents. Then prepare the presentation for the clients, manage the budget of the project and submit it to the management and account department. Then evaluate the employees according to their intellect, work skill, and functionality. So these are the some minor duties of the executive engineer. Okay, now we see the charge of superintending engineer. Now what this superintending engineer can do? Now a circle office is an administrative office under the charge of superintending engineer. It coordinates and supervises the activities of 3 to 5 divisions employed on the construction and maintenance work. Okay. Now, circle is the administrative of superintending engineer, in which there are 3 to 5 divisions are there, which superintending engineers will charge. Okay. Now, it maintains close liaison with the office to the chief engineer in regards to work and all technical matters, and with the central office in regards to administrative matters concerning personnel of various categories. Okay, so this is the duty of superintendent. Now the superintending engineer is required to examine the books of divisional office and sub-divisional officers during his inspection and see that the concerned officers attend to the matter relating to accounts personally. And the one of the duty of superintending engineer is what? He has to keep a strict watch on expenditure, ensure that there is no excess and that the system of management prevailing in the units is sufficiently and economical. Means how the expenditure or how the budget will be requires less to perform the activity in his division or in his circle, he is responsible for that. Okay, so these are the working responsibility of various persons in the competent authority. Now next we see the administrative approval. Now this administrative approval means what? It is the format acceptance of proposal by authority is termed as administrative approval of the work. Okay. Now, before starting any kind of infrastructure development, first of all, we have to make the report of that. If any authority wants to develop any kind of infrastructure, he has to maintain the report, project report on that. After preparing the project report, they will submit it to that particular ministry. After preparing or after putting this project report to the ministry, he will take the whole study of that and then gives the approval. And that approval it is nothing but the administrative approval. After getting the administrative approval, that particular project report is forwarded for the technical sanction. After technical sanctioning, it will again goes to the budget department. And after budget department, then tender notice will be invited. So such process is there. Okay. Now, next it is a duty of engineering department requiring the work by administration to obtain requisite approval to it. After that, an approximate estimate are necessary to explain the proposal are submitted by an engineering department to the administration to obtain administrative approval. As I told you, before developing any infrastructure, that particular department have to submit the project report. So the meaning of this particular sentence is like that. After receiving the administrative approval detail, drawing, design and estimated cost are prepared by engineering department and submitted to the administrative department for sanction. On the basis of priority of work and availability of funds, administrative approval is accorded by the government to the particular new work. Okay, so these are the various steps of administrative approval. Next, we see the steps of administrative. In that, first, initiation of proposal from the concerned department. Next is preparation of block estimate by engineering department, and the last one is approval of competent authority of head of concerned department. Okay, so in this way, this administrative approval will goes on. Next is budget provision. Now, budget provision, budget means what? It is nothing but an annual financial statement showing the estimated receipt and expenditure in respect of financial year before commencement of that year. Okay, so this is nothing but the budget. Now, budget provision means what? It is used to enable government to judge the relative urgency of the demand and made against the amount likely to be available for expenditure on different works head of account during ensuing year. Statement of accepted estimate called as budget estimate. Now, this statement of accepted estimate, which were prepared by the that particular department, it is nothing but the budget provision. Okay. Now, when this budget provision is established, the estimates of expenditure are required to be voted by the legislature. Means in the assembly, as in our Maharashtra, there is a Vidhan Bhavan. In that Vidhan Bhavan, if any work, if any infrastructure work we have to develop, uh, after getting the administrative approval, that work is sent for the budget provision. After budget, after getting the administrative approval, that project will be sent for the permission taken from the legislature. Okay, after getting the permission from legislature, that work will be provided for inviting the tenders. Now the late receipt of the estimate retards the budget. Okay, late receipt of the estimate retards the budget and cause considerable inconvenience. If we put that approval into the legislature in late days, in that case, that work will be retarded. Okay, so every endeavor should be made to ensure that budget should be submitted in time. Okay, originally estimates are prepared from the different division and then submitted to the superintendent engineer. Then the chief engineer proposed the annual budget estimates after receiving the estimates from the superintendent engineer. After the budget statement, that work is sent to the secretary of the department, who after scrutiny submitted to the ministry concerned and to the financial department. Okay, so in this way, single work can be rotated into the budget department. And next is technical sanction. Now, technical sanction means what? After receipt of administrative approval, and expenditure sanction, a detailed estimate is further sanctioned by competent technical authority of engineering department who empowered by government, which ensures that the proposal are structurally sound and estimate is accurately calculated. Okay, so this is nothing but the technical sanction. After the technical sanction, only the work is taken up for the construction. In case of original work, the counter signature of local head of the department should be obtained in plan as well as estimate before technical sanction is accorded. Okay. The power of technical sanction differs from state to state. In case of our India, the chief engineer having the full powers for the technical sanction. Now, for the superintending engineer, he can approve up to the 15 lakhs budget work, and the executive engineer may approve the 5 lakhs estimate of work. Okay. Now, the next point is methods of execution of minor works in public work department. Now, there are different methods of execution. In that, the very first one is piecework agreement. Okay, now this piecework agreement means what? As the name signifies, the piecework agreement is that for which only a rate is agreed upon without reference to the total quantity of work to be done or quantity of work to be done within given period. This is nothing but the piecework agreement. Okay. Now, in case of petty work means small work valued up to the 10,000 rupees, each inclusive of cost of material may be carried out through contractors by piecework agreement. In this type of agreement, detailed specification and total cost of the whole work to be done are mentioned. Okay. It is terminable from either side at any time and cannot be called a contract in true sense. Means this particular work, it is not mentioned into the contract. This is the petty work or small work, which is not supposed to required to do the construction, regular construction work. So advantage of piecework is what? Or piecework agreement is what? Urgent small work may be taken up for execution without inviting the tender. And second advantage is what? If contractor delay to execute the work or uses inferior quality of material, leaves the work partially complete, another contractor may engage at any time. So this is the advantage of piecework. As there is no contract, so owner or the competent authority may engage the another contractor to do the same work if previous contractor do that work in inferior means. Okay. Now the next method is rate list. Now rate list means what? If there is a petty work consisting less than 5,000 rupees can be carried out by piece worker as per schedule of cost, which is called as a rate list. Okay. Now this method is generally adopted when small urgent repair works are to be carried out immediately. As there is no mention about the total quantity of work done or the time of completion, it is similar to the piecework agreement system. Okay. Now the main drawback in this both the system means piecework agreement and rate list is what? If the easy part of work is more, in that case, these two systems may not work properly. Okay, and there will be a dispute between the contractor and the owner or the that authority. So, if the work is more, in that case, rate list method or piecework method is not useful. Okay. Now the next method is days work. Now days work means what? During execution of project, there may be a